Coming up, team coverage of today's major winter storm that caused traffic nightmares across the state.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. A state of emergency tonight across Kentucky after a winter storm slams the Commonwealth. More than half a foot of snow has fallen in many areas. We'll check in with our crews covering the storm in just a moment. But first, meteorologist Evan Hatter begins our severe weather alert day coverage as bitter cold temperatures are now moving in. Evan?
That's right, Steve. The last of the snow pushing out of the Big Sandy in our far southeast counties this evening. And with it, we've actually made some changes to our alert map for the first time here in about 24 hours, more than that actually. The western two rows of counties of the area have been allowed to have had the winter storm warning expire. Everywhere else in pink for some leftover showers that may add about an inch to our totals before the night is done. That is why the winter storm warning has been extended for those areas and through 1 a.m. That includes places like Pikeville, Prestonsburg, Paintsville, Louisa, Inez, back to Hazard, Jackson, even on toward Manchester, Harlan, and Middlesboro at this hour. We continue to see plenty of snowfall around the area. Still hasn't been touched. The runway at London Corbin Airport and the path to the runway either. 18 degrees right now in Laurel County. Out front here, WYMT. We've had a few tire tracks trying to move on out of the area, but we still remain with plenty of snow on our parking lot out here in Hazard. Bitter cold temperatures starting to move in. Just about all of us in at least the low 20s, if not the upper teens. Look at Irvin checking in at 16 right now. So is Lexington. Moorhead's at 18. The last of the snow pushing out of our West Virginia and Southwest Virginia counties. Some of those reports as we've gone through the evening. 5, 6, even 7 inches of snow, an 8-incher as you head over toward portions of Leslie County. We'll have more on that in just a little bit moving forward. But first, for tonight, low teens out there for overnight lows. Wind chills 5 below to 5 above. It's going to be a bitter cold night around the region. I'll have the latest on what comes after our big snow coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Evan, thank you. With the region now layered in white, road crews are out battling the snowstorm after inches of snow dropped in just a couple of hours, and more continues to fall in some locations. WYMT's Buddy Forbes is live in Pikeville, where like many places, the roads are pretty scary tonight.
Yes, Steve, there is still a little traffic out on the roadways here in Pikeville, but most of that movement has died down as the snow settles in across the county. Crews have been preparing since yesterday and out in full force now, clearing the roadways. With the main roads nearly silent, some people are hitting the downtown area for a walk around the snow globe. Officials with the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet say that is the best way to take in the snow, urging against driving on the roads until the county is cleared up.
The visibility is going to be extremely low. So just, if you don't need to go anywhere, stay home. We just don't need the added cars and trucks on the road right now.
Now, if you do have to be out on those roads, officials say you should give yourself a little extra time to get where you're going and give those crews a little extra room to work. They say following only the plowed lanes is the safest way to get where you're going. In Pikeville, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
All right, Buddy. Actually, a very pretty scene with the lights down there in downtown Pikeville, but certainly dangerous on the roads. Thank you very much. Well, Southern Kentucky residents started their day much differently than they are ending it. It was afternoon before the snow started falling around London and Somerset, but it quickly became troublesome for many. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has been in that area all day and shows us the conditions and how people dealt with it.
It was heavy, thick snow most of the afternoon. The evening has brought less of it, but the problems are still out there for a lot of people to deal with.
I see the bartender coming my way.
If only you could sing the snow away. Not singing for his supper, Philip Greer is just trying to get home to Somerset safely.
I don't know, the people across the road, they ended up in the ditch, and that was a big fiasco. You should have seen them. Oh, man.
All over Laurel County, blacktop roads are white skating rinks, and it's been that way all day, starting early with a lot of work for police.
The roads in Rockcastle County and Laurel County are absolutely horrible. And as soon as we get a wreck cleared up, there's another wreck that happens.
And though I meant to come home early, another neon sign got in my way.
No neon sign for most, just a whole lot of snow.
We're going about 30 miles an hour, maybe 40.
Are you all traveling from Chicago to where you headed?
We're going to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and we've been on the road since 8:30.
I am told that some of these crashes did involve injuries, including one that happened in Pulaski County on the Parkway and involved a car that flipped over on its top. That crash happened very soon after the snow started falling and sticking. In Pulaski County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
And state police want to remind drivers to avoid the roads unless absolutely necessary. And they say if you do have to drive, make sure you clear your car of all the snow beforehand. Harlan County is covered in snow after it began falling there around 1 this afternoon. Road crews were out early this morning salting the roads. County officials say they know it won't stop the snow from sticking, but they hope it makes it easier to peel up when they are clearing the roads. County road crews will work from sunup to sundown, and state crews will work around the clock.
So we're gonna be attacking it through the day with our county road department crews. State crews will be out all day through the night and the early morning hours.
Although road crews are doing everything they can to keep the roads safe, officials are still urging you not to drive unless it's an emergency. The snow caused some multi-car pileups on some interstates across the state today. This is one of them around Elizabethtown. Around 20 cars ended up colliding and more slid off the highway. The Western Kentucky Parkway was closed in both directions as crews worked to clean up the mess. It's since reopened. Luckily, only minor injuries were reported. Tonight, traffic is slowly moving again on interstates a little closer to home, but Chad Hedrick shares an important message: stay off them.
From the looks of the photos, yeah, it's going to be a long, long while.
Hours stuck on the interstate.
Time is its own thing when you're stuck on a snowy road.
And nowhere to go. Hundreds of drivers spent Thursday waiting for crews to clean up countless crashes around Mount Sterling, Winchester, Lexington, and down to Mount Vernon.
Some of the slowest I've seen on the interstate. Traffic was about 20 miles an hour for the last hour, it seems like.
Tractor trailers, passenger cars, all a victim to fast falling snow. Drivers taking advantage of the first exit they could get to.
I have a little navigation thing in my car, and so I saw the little exit, and I was like, oh, thank goodness, I just have to get to that exit, because at the moment I was stopped.
Logan Robbins is trying to get to Knoxville from Michigan, an 8-hour drive taking much longer.
It's frustrating, but at the end of the day, I'm safe, and I'm not in a rush for anything.
But some drivers are now even more anxious.
We were already a little nervous because Mommy has some health issues, and we're trying to take care of that. And so we were already on edge before we even got in the vehicle to try to beat the storm. That was the plan.
Now, as crews work to clear the roads ahead of Friday, drivers have a message for anyone venturing out.
Stay inside there. It's not worth it.
Chad Hedrick reporting Lexington got about 10 inches of snow today. Governor Andy Beshear said search and rescue teams are activated for safety checks on stranded drivers, and the Red Cross is monitoring the need for warming centers. Maintenance crews across the region will be out tonight clearing and salting the roads, but if you find yourself having to leave your home and face the snow, there are a few things to watch out for. WYMT's Alyssa Williams spoke to the Perry County maintenance crew on how to stay safe navigating this snow.
Maintenance crews, like the one at the Perry County Maintenance Garage, are ready when winter weather comes their way.
We have been preparing for a few weeks prior to this.
Freddie Grigsby, purchasing agent for the Perry County crew, says his team will use more than 100 tons of salt throughout the night.
We won't do a lot on the off roads, on the real dangerous side roads, but the large places, the hot spots such as the nursing home, Crawford Mountain, open roads that we can get, we will continue to work them.
Although these crews are continuing to salt roads throughout the night, they advise people to avoid traveling until the snow stops and the salt can fully take effect.
Anybody that can possibly stay home, that doesn't have to leave, I would recommend that.
If you have to get out and travel, remember to go slow. And if you find yourself sliding on the road, it's better to keep a light foot on the brake and to turn the wheel away from the direction you are sliding.
Don't panic. Don't get out on the roads if you're scared of it.
If you are unable to leave your home, it is best to reach out to your local maintenance crew or law enforcement to assist you.
We've got plenty of supplies, plenty of men, so we should be able to do some damage.
Helping to keep drivers safe during winter weather. In Hazard, Alyssa Williams, WYMT Mountain News.
Grigsby adds that keeping extra warm clothes in your car is important during severe winter weather because you never know when you might need them. Well, we've heard of some pretty impressive snow totals across the region tonight. Let's check in live with meteorologist Cameron Aaron outside our studios in Hazard for more. Cameron?
That is right, Steve. We have been looking at some pretty impressive snowfall totals across the mountains tonight. And really, to be honest with you, this is the most snow I've ever seen here in my life. So this is some pretty cool stuff to look at. Now, I have been checking out the measurements around here, around Hazard, and we're about 6 inches is what we are looking at here just outside the studio. So like I said, that's a pretty good snowfall for me. I don't know about y'all, but that's a pretty good snowfall. And while this is very pretty to look at, this is turning to a kind of dangerous situation tonight because as those temperatures continue to fall, we are going to watch out for the possibility of some very slick road conditions later on tonight and into your Friday morning commute. So many people are advising us to not be on the roads tonight. Really stay off the roads if you can, because that can turn into a very dangerous situation very quickly. So just stay home and stay warm and just stay outside the roads here tonight. Steve?
And Cameron, this is so impressive to you because of where you're from, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm from the deep south. I think the most snow I've ever seen before was about 3 inches. So we're about double that here, and I'm in love with it. I mean, I could stay here all night long.
I know you've been waiting for it since you arrived at WYMT. Glad you got to see some. So it is pretty big snow, even for around here. Thank you very much, Cameron. Well, Hazard City officials feel prepared and ready as the bitter cold temperatures follow the snow. City Manager Tony Eversole says crew members are working around the clock, ready for any situation the weather may bring. He says as far as water outages and pipe bursts are concerned, during the summer, outdated lines were replaced. And Eversole says if there is any trouble, you should pick up the phone.
Reach us at City Hall. We can call the water plant. If something happens and you don't have water, we can help you about getting water. You know, you can come to one of the fire departments and fill up. We can get some bottled water out, but we'll help you. Just give us a call.
Eversole asks everyone to refrain from keeping your faucets on as temperatures drop. The snowfall is slowing cleanup and repair efforts in Pike County and probably other areas too after the New Year's Day flooding. Officials say a big concern is roadway safety following major flooding damage. They say this damage can be dangerous to crews clearing the roads of snow. If other emergencies do arise, transportation crews urge you to call for help immediately.
We're going to be in the Emergency Operations Center for a while tonight, and could be all night depending on what happens, but we'll be here in case somebody needs us. And the phones are open. Our number is 432-0210. And if you have an emergency, call 911.
Tackett says you can also sign up for the RAVE 911 emergency alert system in Pike County for warnings and alerts on nearby emergencies. We have more local snow coverage and all the latest closings, and there's a pretty big list on the WYMT News app. If you've not downloaded the app, just take a picture of the code there on your screen. This will take you to a link to our news app that you can download. You can always find the latest closings and delays there, along with breaking news alerts. We encourage you to download both the WYMT News and weather apps. They come in pretty handy. Coming up tonight at 11, another record-breaking day for COVID numbers in Kentucky as the Omicron variant spreads, and we'll also have more on the anniversary of the insurrection.
And snow moving out tonight, but bitter cold temperatures moving right on in. I'll have the very latest on the way next.
Are you